The Screen Team is back, and we are ready for an hour-long edition of the show here on today's Talk 930 KWOC. The show is being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us, also Fearless Social, and Poplar Bluff Drywall. It's a special hour-long edition of the show because it's my birthday show.
Right on, man. Happy birthday to you.
It's my birthday show. We got movies that, movies that I just adore, I love, and I'm going to share them all with the Bonehead Nation today. We're going to have special guests all throughout the hour. I've got Jake with me for the first segment, but I want to let you know what we're going to be reviewing. Here in the first section, we're going to be reviewing some of my favorite movies of all time: Return of the Jedi, Lethal Weapon, Godfather Part 2. In the second portion of the Screen Team, we're going to be doing A League of Their Own. Also Paleface, which is an old Bob Hope movie, which I just love. And we're going to finish off the show with When Harry Met Sally. So that's what you can expect today on the Screen Team. I've got Jake with us. Jake, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. And those are all great choices, man.
Yeah, man. I love each and every one of those films. And I'm just like, man, I'm just going to do a show of movies I love. So that's what we're doing here today. And the first film we're going to be doing is probably my all-time favorite movie until I saw The Godfather. Okay, it's Return of the Jedi, which is the third. It's actually, this is hard to explain. It's the third movie that was created, but it's actually episode 6.
That's right. It's due to where George wanted to start the story.
That's right, man. That's right. So this is probably the first movie I remember seeing ever. I remember seeing it in theaters with my parents when I guess it came out when I was around 3. And I just remember just being blown away by it. I remember, seeing Jabba the Hutt as a little kid, and that first 20 to 30 minutes was just spectacular with Jabba the Hutt and all his gangsters, and
it's a movie on its own. The first half hour of it.
You're right. You're right, and it's not even the main conflict. The main conflict is we got to defeat Darth Vader and we've got to defeat the Emperor. But we got this little side story going on in the very beginning, which I love. And then after they get to taking care of Jabba, they go to Yoda, and then you got the Ewoks in there. So all in all, man, I've loved this movie ever since I was little. I know that the hardcore Star Wars fans really dislike this film, and you know what? They can go blow it out their nose, man, because I love this film, man. I love it. I love it. And I know a lot of it has to do with when it came out and how old I was, and I understand all of that. But still watching it 30 years later, I still like it. I still get excited. I want to show my son, the movie. I want him to get excited about it. So, this is, even after so much time, this movie is still, in my top 5 of all time.
For sure. And the original trilogy, that's what it is. It's a whole story, and it's a great way to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. Just thinking about the movie, of course I saw it when I was a kid for the first time. I got lucky. I got to see the original trilogy and the original versions for the first time over a weekend in a home theater.
Really?
Staying with some families in a basement. So I found the box trilogy, and I got to watch all of the movies in their original versions. So
it was before special edition.
This was probably 2 or 3 years before special edition.
So you were lucky, man. You were lucky. I've told my parents they have the VHS copies of the original versions. I'm like, don't ever get rid of these. Don't. I mean, that's why I still have a VCR, so I can see them in their original form. Because the DVD has the special editions, and now the Blu-ray has the special editions. We're hoping Disney will come out with the original versions later on the line, but they haven't yet. So
I think there'd be some money in it for them.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, I think all those people with original VHS copies and maybe even a Betamax set might be losing out on a little bit of value there. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it come to Blu-ray. Just clean up the original for films, and you don't have to add in the good stuff. I've never had a problem with the special edition. Of course, it was 97, so I was 10 years old. Yeah. When they came out, and I enjoy the vision of the special editions. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's one exception that everybody complains about, and
Han shooting first.
Han shot first, exactly.
It's just one of the stupidest things because they're like point blank, and Greedo obviously can't hit the broadside of a barn. It doesn't make any sense. With the exception of that, I didn't really care about the special. When you're watching the special editions, George Lucas did a lot to A New Hope. He didn't do very much to Empire Strikes Back. There's a couple little things that he added. Yeah. But Return of the Jedi, I hate the special editions of Return of the Jedi. I hate them. They took out the Num Num song at the very end. They redid the song in Jabba's Palace, which I just hate. I hate that they changed that. And if you watch I don't know if you've seen this or not, but if you watch the special edition of Return of the Jedi on Blu-ray, when you see Luke Skywalker getting just destroyed by the Emperor, and Darth Vader is looking back at Luke and looking back at the Emperor, in the original version he picks him up and he throws him over the side. Yep. Well, George Lucas decided to put a no, just the worst no that you'd ever heard, and it's just like, oh, why did you do that? There was no need for it.
I don't know. It's one of those things. It's the fans versus the creator. The creator has his vision. He wants to add his stuff in, which I'm cool with to an extent.
To a point, yeah.
To an extent. It's not necessary, but it doesn't ruin the movie for me.
So let me ask you, not talking to Jake Whitlow, younger version, but Jake Whitlow now, some of the certain elements of the film, did you like or not like? Ewoks. Did you like the Ewoks?
Oh, I dig the Ewoks, man.
A lot of hardcore people have a hard time thinking that the Ewoks could, defeat the Empire. But if the stormtroopers can't hit this broadside of a,
it's the truth. But looking at it in perspective, in a movie, you see what the director wants you to see. You see what the filmmakers want you to see.
Right.
Of course, there was a gang of rebels there too, and they all had weapons comparable to the stormtroopers.
Right.
You get to see the Ewoks in action because, well, that's cute.
That's true. It's all about, it was all about attracting, folks like me at that age. And, I understand why Jar Jar. Go ahead.
And the movies are for children. George Lucas has always said the movies have always been for kids. So, those people that maybe were in, pre-teen age when they saw the original Star Wars, they saw A New Hope before it was A New Hope.
Right.
And then Empire Strikes Back, they were a little more mature, and that's a little more mature.
And then they saw Return of the Jedi, like, what's this?
Well, by the time of Return of the Jedi, you're trying to catch a whole new audience of a younger generation, and I think it's the same thing with the prequels. We'll have to do a defense of the prequels show at some time.
I'm all about it, man.
I've got some points to defend the prequels. Now, there's a lot of unforgivableness in the prequels, but there's a lot of it to where I can see the point of what you did. You just executed it poorly.
Yeah. I'm excited. We should definitely do that show. Jake, thanks for being on with this particular segment. I appreciate you, brother. We'll be back with a review on the original Lethal Weapon. That's coming your way next on Today's Talk, 930 KWOC.